Good morning. I'm starting a few minutes early because it's not raining right now, and I don't know when the rain's going to start. This may be a very short stream, but I am in the beautifully preserved town of New Windsor, Maryland. And we're going to take a Main Street walk and check out all there is to see in this town that was established in 1797 in Maryland. And typical to Maryland main streets here in the rural area of Maryland, these main streets are busy. So big trucks coming up and down the street, very loud. It's going to be like that all day. I have not streamed in 6 days because it has been not only rainy and cold and overcast, but it's been foggy. So hopefully the signal will hold up here and we'll get some good shots of these beautiful homes, many of which were built in the early 1800s. New Windsor, Maryland is in Carroll County, Maryland. And let's take a walk down this main street. I'm fixated on this one because I love the green shutters on this one. I have never been to New Windsor, Maryland. I'm kind of ashamed that I haven't been because just in the few blocks that I've walked, it's an absolute treasure. Just fantastic residences right here on this main street. Now the sidewalks are a little hazardous, so I'm going to walk very slowly today, and we'll hope that the rain holds off, and I'll have to come back with my real camera on a sunny day. But just check out the beautifully preserved, charming, large homes here on this main street. These are quite big 1800s architecture here on this main street. Good morning, everyone. Oh my gosh, wow. Lots of folks joining. This is New Windsor, Maryland. And we're going to play some Main Street bingo. And no, you're not, your eyes aren't deceiving you. Those are still the Christmas wreaths up there. Hi, Jose. Or Joseph, I'm sorry. Hi, Joseph. This is Maryland on the, in the mid-Atlantic of the United States. And yeah, there's still Christmas wreaths up. But just check out these beautiful old homes here on this very busy main street. Good morning, Crystal. All right, so far this one's my favorite for sure. Different styles, federal influence, Queen Anne, Victorian, all here on this main street. This is like, I don't think I've used this term yet, frozen in time. I'm gonna call this a frozen in time main street. Now, here's the thing. We are going to zigzag today, very carefully, crossing these streets. And you can see the sidewalks are elevated a few steps up from the road. But the reason I'm crossing here is to get a view of this beautiful old filling station. Hi, Olivia. Great to see you. Let's see why my camera's a little crooked here. Let's try that. Okay, all good. Hi, Renee. Great to see you. Check out this old filling station. Now, the pump there is not that old, but the filling station is. And I'm sure it always was a filling station, right? Or maybe it could have been a fire station way back in the day. But I think it was a filling station. We have a lot to explore on this main street. And on our bingo card, we are going to play some Main Street bingo. See what we can find. We have the mix of wooden structures, brick structures, Oh, I'm feeling great, Olivia. Thank you so much. Hi, Walter from Lancashire. Welcome. We'll be extra super careful on this very busy road today. These great big trucks coming down this little main street. Super careful. But we'll zigzag back and forth when safe to do so, so we can catch all of the beautiful architecture on both sides. Really great examples here. Oh, thank you so much. Hi, Daniel. Nice to see you. Check these out. And this one here. Now let's get to that corner. Oh, okay. This gimbal has a mind of its own today. I do apologize if it flops around a little bit. Now I've lost the sidewalk. We'll stand here just for a minute and take a look at this interesting construction. This one, I don't think we're talking early 1800s, maybe late 1800s on this one. This is a little bit of a hodgepodge. Sometimes the over decoration becomes charming. Guess that's a good word for it. A little hodgepodgey. But green shutters are certainly the thing here. This is New Windsor, Maryland. It's a Maryland main street here in the United States. And check this one out. Uncle Matty's Eatery. Quite beautiful. Good morning.
Good morning. Don't take a picture of me.
I'm not taking a picture of you, but I'm saying good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely lady did not want her picture taken, and I understand. I certainly respect that. Good Lord. We're gonna have another one of these days with these what do you call it, modified exhausts or whatever. People just trying to be loud. Check this one out. Look at this little cottage buried here. How wonderful. No, Olivia. I try to be really super respectful of, people, and these are their homes. And many of them are just, they've taken such great care, right, to preserve these beautiful homes. Whoops. And most are just really proud. And I'm walking slowly for a bunch of reasons. Number one, so I don't trip. Number two, because it's so cloudy, the quality of the picture might not be so great. So I do apologize for that. When I'm out on a super sunny day with blue skies, the picture quality is exceptional. But on days like today, I know you're gonna get some grainy pictures. So if I walk a little slower, it'll be good. Check this one out. Oh my gosh, and look at this little hidden one. Okay, look at this little tiny one right here next to this beautiful blue beauty here. Wow, this is definitely a distinctive architectural style that as you get closer to the mountains in Maryland, as you continue to head west, you get homes with more pitched roofs. Some of the larger homes might have that conical section, that bay. It's kind of typical of, I'm sure there's a name for it. It's not Maryland mountain style, but I'll call it Maryland mountain style. And the high pitched roof is because of the snow, right? To keep the snow off the roofs. Now here's a good old one. This has to be very early to mid 1800s here, with a tin roof wooden structure. That glass is wavy. So I don't think it's original glass, but I certainly think it's probably second generation glass on that beautiful structure. Little storefront next to it. And these beautiful porched homes. And you see the railroad tracks here. We're on Church Street in Windsor Mill, Maryland. The corner of Church Street and Mill Street. I'm sorry, I said Windsor Mill. I'm so sorry. New Windsor, Maryland. If I've said Windsor Mill, I apologize. Windsor Mill is a whole different place. This is New Windsor. And this is Mill Street. And this is or was a mill for sure. Well, grain elevators there. New Windsor, Maryland. Hi, everyone. Hey, Lily Cat, great to see you. Legoland. No, it's not Legoland. Although, wouldn't these make great Lego structures? Wouldn't these make great little Lego buildings? I would be all for that. This one here with some stained glass in that window above the door. A real mix. And yeah, we can still have the Christmas wreaths out. So I still have a few Christmas decorations in my house because my poinsettias are still blooming and they look beautiful. So where I have the poinsettias, I have like all these little decorations and I'm not moving them because the poinsettias are still going great. Hey, Third Door, good to see you. I hope you're having a great weekend already. We are in New Windsor, Maryland. It's very cold for this time of year. It's like 40. It has been overcast and foggy for 6 straight days. Haven't seen the sun. But I had to get out today. And look what we've got here. Oh, check this one out. Look at this periwinkle blue. Beautiful cottage. Hi, Lubadown. Yeah, New Windsor, Maryland. It's a Maryland Main Street. Check that out. Holy moly. That's fantastic. This is Church Street, just off the main street. And this one here, I can tell by the brick. You can tell by the brick, the roof, and the chimneys that this is early 1800s. This, if we were to do some research, we'd probably find that this is one of the oldest structures in this little town. I can just tell by the brick. How charming. Oh, I wish we had some sun and a little bit of a blue sky. Would be so nice. All right, I am gonna cross carefully. Very carefully. Oh, yeah, Lily, I know you've got it colder, but you're supposed to have it colder in Colorado. We're not. I love winter, but I am ready for spring. And we've been lucky. Even on the cold, cold days, we did have a lot of blue sky. So I really can't complain. So all of these homes grew up around the trade in New Windsor. I don't know much about it, but here's what I'm going to guess. The railroad is here. So the transport of goods from the farms in this area, this is definitely agricultural, the agricultural area of Maryland. mills, proximity to Pennsylvania. We're not too far from Pennsylvania. There may have been a little bit of industry here. These homes, however, are characteristically larger than other residences that sprouted up around similar small towns. So that tells me this area was doing well, and the people here were doing quite well. And I'm still surprised I've never been here. This is about 45 minutes west of Baltimore. About the same north of Washington, D.C. So I've not been here. Oh, you got snow yesterday. Daryl! Daryl, it's so great to see you. Hope you're well. I hope everyone has done their homework for film club today. Film club film is MASH, the film. That's a good one. Look at that. These are very large home after home, right? We're not seeing little shacks here. We're seeing big brick and wooden structures. There's a carriage in front of this home. That is a carriage. Hey, 71 Cowboys. We are in New Windsor, Maryland. And if I said Windsor Mill before, that's wrong. That's another part of Maryland. So catch me when I say it, because this is New Windsor, Maryland. And we're on a Main Street walk. But we're on a side street to check out the residential gems here in this beautiful small town. And yeah, I'm going straight uphill. This is like, check out the colors. Wow. This is practically beachy with the peach and mint green on this one. And look at the design. They all seem to have these really, I don't know, can we say misplaced window bays? I don't know why. Doesn't quite fit, but it's beautiful. Hey, Ashley, good to see you. Daphne, good morning. Hi, Daphne. Everyone, check out Daphne Glitter's channel. Daphne is an amazing creator. Hi, Mary. Mary McCarthy, good to see you. John, nice to see you. It is like it is a Barbie house. That's a great way to put it. Gosh, and if we had a little bit of sun, it might look a little nicer. All right, I am actually gonna head back down to the main street. I was going to cross over, but my only little strike on this main street, or this small town, is there's really no sidewalks. So I'm not gonna cross over. And that one too. I mean, the porches are beautiful. I have to get this. Something's really happened to my arm here. My gimbal arm. It keeps going crooked. I feel like I have to constantly adjust the camera, so I apologize. Yeah, I have to get used to your new profile picture, Daphne. That's for sure. Now this is a funeral home. We're not going to call this a historic funeral home. It doesn't quite have that feel. But there's an interesting memorial here. So on our Main Street Bingo card, we haven't hit anything yet, but I'm telling you, as soon as we turn the corner, we're going to start checking off those boxes. Because I think this little sleepy Main Street is going to surprise us. It's already surprising me. John, I hope you're having a great weekend. Good to see you. Who paints the fire hydrants? Oh, the red, white, and blue. Oh, let me tell you. So Ashley, let me tell you all about fire hydrants in Baltimore City in the 1970s. So for the bicentennial, 50 years ago, when America was turning 200, in Baltimore, neighbors were given kits to paint fire hydrants. And some did red, white, and blues. Some did like a rocket. Some did all kinds of things. The one in my neighborhood, the fire hydrant was painted like a Dalmatian, like a little fire dog. Sadly, and I have combed through libraries online and in person. I can't find any photos. And I wasn't imagining it. I know this really happened. Comes the car. It was really a thing. These painted fire hydrants. And I can't find anything. I'm gonna have to go to like the local news outlets like WJZ and WBAL and see if there are any news stories, because in Baltimore there is an archive of local news broadcasts that researchers can use. So I want to find it. I know I was like, because obviously they were painted in the 70s, but they were still, many of them were still painted until they faded, like in the 80s and 90s. I know I saw them as a kid. I know there was a Dalmatian on my street, but I can't find any historic photos. Porch swings on the bingo card. Daphne, I think we're gonna add that. Oh, Daphne, you would be amazing at painting fire hydrants. Well, you're amazing at painting everything. So I guess this is the local then, these red, white, and blue. This is the local fire hydrant. Pretty cool. All the ones on your street are silver. Oh, okay. So where I live, they're the bright orange. Some neighborhoods, they're this neon yellow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research. Oh, there's so many research projects. And here, I thought having a very snowy winter would have given me the opportunity to stay at home and catalog things and edit video. Nope. No. I'm happy I was able to get out as much as I did, but I did not catch up on all the thousands of hours of video that I have to edit and all the research I have to do. Back to Main Street. Now we saw the Christmas wreaths still on the telephone poles. I did have a Christmas Main Street bingo card. It's way past Christmas. But what we don't see are those town banners. So they don't have the banners up with the honoring those who served in the military. But let's see what else we can find. My eye just continues to be drawn to this one on the corner, this blue brick with the beige porch there, because Just the whole style of that tells me that's the oldest building in the area. I can almost guarantee that's the oldest building here. Graveyard. Yeah, this is a graveyard. Uncle Maddie's Eatery. Let's continue. Now see, the camera's gone crooked again. Why does it keep doing this? I don't know. Maybe gravity is off. By the way, is everyone rereading Project Hail Mary ahead of the film? I'm almost done my second read of Project Hail Mary so that I can be ready for the film. Now across the way, we'll cross over on the way back, but across the way is the War Memorial. So that's the first box on the bingo card that we can check off. And this is very obviously the historic fire department, this building here. You can tell because there's the old air raid siren or fire siren on the roof there. You can tell by the portico, that is an old fire station. Right next door to New Windsor Town Hall, so we can check that off our bingo card too. Hi, Courtier 67. Good morning from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Back in 1976, we had some of our hydrants painted too. 1976, Ford was president, and it was the best 4th of July I ever experienced. That is so cool. 4th of July is my favorite holiday. Need to do something special this year. Now, not too far from this main street, and really and truly, if we had another hour and a half, we could walk to the next, no, not in this traffic. We could walk to the next main street, which is in Union Bridge, but it would be way too dangerous with these people driving so quickly down this road. Oh, I just got that petrichor smell. You know, that smell after the rain? Love that smell. Petrichor smell and the smell of old books in old libraries. Can't beat that. Can't beat it. Now look at this sprawling structure here. Again, by the brick. We're going to guess that this too is a very old structure. But I'm all for the green. I think that's a really nice, I think that's a nice color. We'll cross over and hey, this could be a town square. Cross that off our, we're doing well on our bingo card already. Town of New Windsor, Fountain Park. Okay, this is the Fountain Park. The sitting wall and park sign were made possible by a generous donation from the Lehigh Cement Company. Okay, so that's the industry here. There are quarries out here. In fact, I passed a big one on my way to this main street. So that was probably the industry here, the Lehigh Cement. In Baltimore, directly across from Fort McHenry, is a Lehigh Cement factory. Maybe this is where the raw materials came from. Now the street we were on is High Street, and this street is Main Street. And again, it covers quite an area for a small town Main Street. I'm really quite impressed. And I don't know why I say that. That sounds kind of condescending. It's on me that I've never been here before, and I've lived in Maryland my whole life. Our favorite building, and it meets the requirement for our bingo card. A bank is a bank. So for those of you who are just finding my channel, thank you so much for being here. But I'll tell you a little bit about the buildings that I really like. I love banks. I love old bank buildings, and I especially love the fact that they have such characteristic architecture that an old bank tends to still be a bank today. Many more cases than not. An historic old bank building is still a bank building today because it looks so distinct. Usually wrought iron grates around the windows, usually a nice brass door. Now there's not a big brass door on the front, but there are those big, beautiful wooden doors just behind this front door. Maybe they still have some of the original features inside, like a beautiful counter, teller windows. Maybe there's some brass work. Maybe there's a big chandelier type light. I absolutely love banks that are still a bank. Well, John, I'm glad you're still in bed. That's awesome. That's the way to do it. I'm glad my timing works out for you. So this one here, it says New Windsor State Bank, organized in 1932, but this building was erected in 1914, earlier than this bank was organized. Maybe it was a different bank. It is now ACNB Bank, as it should be. As it should be. Look at this little, just this little block with a variety of architectural styles, the wooden with the tin roof, the brick on the end, these two bricks that tend to look more commercial here. Oh, Daphne, Daphne, you are so sweet. I am so grateful for you, Daphne, and I so enjoy watching your channel. Your channel is such a great chill out channel, and also inspiration for people who aren't creative. You give us a little inspiration to maybe try something creative, and I love that. We've got a town clock. We can cross that off of our bingo card as well. So we're gonna come up this side of the street a little quickly while there is no traffic, and then I'll cross over and come back down the other side so we can get a closer view on some of these homes and structures. Now we're seeing smaller residences that I would think would be more characteristic to a Maryland small town in this area. And that's why I said I'm really surprised at all the larger brick homes. Usually you see one or two. You know, there might be one or two landed, wealthy folks in the town. But there are so many huge multi-story brick buildings in this area. It really is surprising. All right, now I'm in an area where there's just gonna keep being traffic. Thank you for slowing down. The speed limit on this road is 30. It appears no one cares about that. What's new? I see a Civil War marker. But first, check this one out. This one's all ready for America 250. I see a park. This guy's really going way too fast. No one ever thinks that I'm like the cops. Not that they should, with a camera. I don't know. You'd think if you were flying down a small main street where the speed limit is 30 and you saw someone carrying a camera, you might want to slow down, but they don't. Hey, Ricky, nice to see you. Hey, James. Yeah, I can be boring. Some people might find these homes interesting. I have this dream of like taking the most beautiful pictures, the most perfect photos of the most perfect homes and making a collage. Yeah, I have very, very low expectations for myself. Someday I'll make a collage. So here's the sign. Welcome to New Windsor, founded in 1797 and incorporated in 1844. And there's that little fountain and lamppost that we saw. Yeah, it's not me. The sign is crooked. In this case, my camera's not crooked. The sign is definitely tilted. Let's check out the Civil War history in this area. Village by Moonlight. In June 1863, okay, everybody stop. June 1863, what are we getting ready for? Well, the Confederates are marching north toward, ultimately, Gettysburg. As General Robert E. Lee and the Army of Northern Virginia marched north, General Jeb Stuart's Confederate cavalry rode east. Soon, Federal cavalry hunted Stuart. General David McGreg's division left Frederick at 4 p.m. on June 28th and bivouacked between Newmarket and Poplar Springs. It spent the next day around Newmarket, Ridgeville, Mount Airy, and Lisbon. We've been to Mount Airy. We were in Mount Airy earlier this year. That night, exhausted men and horses, wrote a New York cavalryman, passed through a small but beautiful village, New Windsor. It was about 10 o'clock when we arrived there. How wonderful. So, and this is what I'm always seeking, like those primary sources, documents, letters, diaries that tell us the real experiences of our ancestors. This is a post-war photograph. The village looked much the same in 1863. Wow. So I'll have to look for this photo and then do some comparison. And then in 1864, looting in New Windsor. Is this a Jubilee attack? Yes, it is. It's a Jubilee attack. The New Windsor Raid, a drawing by Frederick Dealman, son of hotel owner Louis Dealman, first published in 1864. Lots of history here in this New Windsor Park. Okay, the sky is getting a little bit brighter. Be a little optimistic here. We won't see blue sky, that's for sure, but maybe it'll brighten up just a little bit. Yeah, traffic cones, Daryl, look. And there's the sign, New Windsor Park. All right, we've got more Main Street to see, but we're gonna see it from the other side of the street very carefully. What does everyone have planned for today? I'm gonna finish my walk, grab some lunch, do my slides for film club, join film club. I think that'll be a full day. That one is a hoot. It just is. These conical window bays on the corners, very interesting. They don't quite match the rest of the building. I don't know why I say that. Hello, Our World 01. Don't spam. We see you. You're welcome to be here. No politics here, but we welcome critical opinion about architecture. Feel free to slam the architecture or praise the architecture. That's what we're here for. That's a good one. Daphne, you need to do it. So I think for me, like the reason I could do it myself is because I had been on live streams with Stasis Geek and with Dan, as well as some other creators, not in our little gaming sphere. So because I had done it with them, I got my nerve to do this. And then I've been doing some streams from my desk, but on my other channel, on my proper history channel. And those are always an adventure, but you've got Ashley there to help you. So I wish I had some technical skill to help me. There's the town clock. And big bonus, oh, it's like a minute off. Okay, we're giving it a bonus for being correct. It is about a minute slow, but I don't care. This clock has the correct time. So that gives us the super bonus for our bingo card so we can get that center square. I like this one with the roughed up brick. And let's get a really good view of some of the features of this beautiful old bank. Now, it could also be that it's just coincidental and the clock has stopped and I'm just walking by it at this time. There's always that chance. New Windsor State Bank, organized 1932, but this building was built in 1914. So this building was built, what, 18 years earlier. So maybe it was a different bank. Because in a building like this, there's really nothing else you can be. Steve, you know, you can have your opinion. There's really nothing else that a building like this could be. It's a bank. A bank is a bank. Now, peeking inside, there aren't brass doors. There are wooden doors with a brass handle. No night deposit box that I can see. Could have been around the back. Ooh, and a nice treat. Here we go. For some reason, there's a marker that says we are 500 feet above sea level. Yeah, and we can feel it. We were in, when we were in Oxford, Maryland last week or the week before, right after the stream ended, I looked down, because you should always look up and down, and there was a marker that said 12 feet above sea level, which was definitely appropriate for Oxford, Maryland. 500 feet above sea level is really appropriate here. We're heading toward the mountains in Western Maryland. Oh, it's okay, Oscar. It's okay, Oscar. We just ignore it. And you know, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. It's his opinion. Checking out these windows. These definitely aren't original windows because they're not wavy, but they've been really carefully preserved. This one here is the New Windsor Museum. We have a New Windsor Museum. I'm gonna add this to my list of museums to put on a great big database. On the sesquicentennial, January 25th, 1994, which was founded in 1797. I don't quite know how that makes it a sesquicentennial, but that's okay. And this property circa 1802. So what we're calling the America 250 is the sesquicentennial, semi-quincentennial. It's the semi-quincentennial. I know. That's kind of crazy. Check out that sign. I like this sign. Oh, looky. Okay, you can come here and be silly. And be prim and proper for the 1800s. I love that. All right, how's our bingo card doing? Feels like we're doing really well. Let's get back down to the high street. I hope to see a sign for this church. I have no information on this church whatsoever. It looks historical. The steeple is quite interesting. It's just got a lot of different features on it. The windows, the shingles, there's something that's not unified about the design. Let's see what we can find out. And let's come back to this. This is the Fountain Park. So I'm going to guess, you know, since this is on all the signs, I'm hoping this is the original, right? So there's a drinking fountain and there's a horse trough. There's a place for our horses to drink. Love it. This is like the symbol of New Windsor. What's that metal cap on the sidewalk? Oh my, did I miss something? Hang on. Did I miss a marker? What's that metal cap on the sidewalk? This green one? That's just an outlet. Let's see. These are just gas mains. If that's what you're talking about, Daryl, or was there something I missed? Did I miss something else besides the gas mains or water meters? These are water meters. Oh, I don't like to miss things in the sidewalk. Okay, that's what you meant. Yeah, sometimes it's those National Geologic Survey markers, the NGS markers, and I always try to catch those. Now I'm trying to adjust this camera one more time, so I appreciate your patience while I make an adjustment here. And I wish it would just stop doing what it's doing. So I have to hold the camera up a lot higher than I normally do. Don't know why. Technical difficulties. Oh, there is a cornerstone. Obviously, there's a cornerstone. Let's see. Let's check out this church. This is St. Paul Methodist Church. And the original established 1843 to 1897. Fabulous. 1843 to 1897. So definitely an historic church, and we'll have to do a little research and see what parts of the building were built when. Now this is definitely not historic, but if you've followed my channel recently, I do find newer fire stations to be really interesting. The ones that have recently been rebuilt near me, particularly Crownsville, Maryland, are really quite beautiful. And certainly an important part of a community. And you can see the fire station starting with one little bay and one little horse-drawn carriage to these massive structures. With big equipment. And inside, they're washing the floor. Now, we do say that we get a bonus point if the equipment's being washed. The equipment's not being washed, so we don't get the bonus point today. But we do have all the equipment outside, which is really cool. I'm turning into a fire station spotter in addition to being a train spotter. This says Station 10, New Windsor Volunteer Fire Company. Just walk down here so we can get the whole of the sign, the flags of the United States, the great state of Maryland. I'm assuming next to that is probably Carroll County, Maryland. Fire Station 10. Awesome. I do too. It's nice to see a clean, and they're always clean, a super clean fire truck, bright red. That's really awesome. All right, I'm gonna stop spinning this camera and I'm gonna stop complaining about it. Do I see a dog? I don't. I do not see a fire dog. But they've got the small rescue truck, I don't know my fire trucks. My cousin would kill me. My cousin is Very amazing firefighter who used to drive the back of the hook and ladders. And he's awesome. I don't know the names of all the truck. There's a ladder truck. I think that's what we used to call the pumper truck. And then way back there, there's some other kind of rescue. There's like 6 to 8 pieces of equipment here. Here in New Windsor, Maryland. That's a great shot. All right, we've got some more structures to check out. Thank you all for joining me today. It's a dreary one today. So what haven't we seen yet? We saw the town hall, the town square. We did not get the banners or the old lamp posts. There aren't any old lamp posts here except for the one in that park. We did not see like a hardware store or a mercantile shop. Oh, you were taking 150 miles to Rapid City, South Dakota in 2024 for a bad allergic reaction to mixed nuts. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, our local fire and police departments, thank God for them, really and truly. Now from here, I'm going to be extra careful stepping out into the street. But if you look to the very end of this road, you can see quite a hill or a mountain there behind the town. Right? We're definitely in hilly mountain country, but there are also quarries here. So there are great big, huge mountains of waste and rock in these areas. And here you get the total scale of this massive, I don't know what we call this. Would this have been a boarding house back in the day? I'm kind of thinking this could have been a boarding house, maybe with a pub, a restaurant, an inn of some sort. And it looks like one structure was built and then another one was added on. We have 4 chimneys in a really odd, a very odd shape. We've got a wooden front with a brick in the back. It is quite an interesting design here. Let's see if we can get a good look. No historic markers, but hey, good morning. But you can definitely tell this was a busy corner back in the day. All right, I think that car's turning. Oh, I found a historic marker. I was hoping to find this. Okay. It says this property, it just says this property circa 1790. I mean, yay. This property is circa 1790. It doesn't tell us anything about it. Wow. Ooh, well, there we go. We're gonna have some action. Unless that's a test. Maybe it's, nope. Oh, volunteer fire department. Putting everybody on notice. Something's happening. We'll hear the engine soon. Check this one out. Look at this beautiful property. Beautiful brick. So the one we just looked at was 1790. Most of these are going to be kind of early, mid 1800s. I'm just guessing. 1840 for this. Still has the tin roof. As does this one on the corner, which is quite an interesting construction too. But here we have another blue beauty. The blue really sticks out. That periwinkle one that we saw was quite striking, and this one, wow. Ben, good morning. The redcoats are coming. Yep, 250 years was all they could stand. They're coming back. They've been plotting their return all along. Well, technically since 1814, but plotting their return all along. Look at that. And so now earlier I said that some of these designs had just too many different features and they were all kind of higgledy-piggledy. This one I really like. So I like the shingle work, both the scalloped and the square. I like the design around the window frames with those little boxes. I don't know what we call those, but those are kind of arts and craftsy, which would be like early 1900s. You've got the semi-scallop work up near the apex of the gable. It's also repeated on the front of the porch, and the porch roof is a tin roof as well. I like this. I like this a lot. So whoever mentioned, yes, lead paint, whoever mentioned Lego before, this would be a good Lego one too. Hey, smart boy. Smart boy, you've been here before. What's the siren about? There's a police fire station right around the corner. So just before you joined, I walked past the fire department. So the volunteer fire department, they're either calling in volunteers or running a test. This one goes on my list. A couple of top favorites here. And a few others down this street. If I were to continue down the street, I'd be at the railroad tracks, where the railroad would be taking. So from this town, so we've kind of put the pieces together. The quarry and the Lehigh Cement Company. Oh, there was the ambulance. So the ambulance just left, missed it. So this would have been, probably granite and all kinds of stuff from the quarries around here, plus the Lehigh Cement Company. And those goods would have been loaded on the trains. And I'm guessing this was a very well-off town, just by the number of larger homes that we've seen. Other main streets, even typical, kind of your typical main street, is going to have a handful of large homes and then mostly smaller homes for the workers. This town has a large number of large, ornate homes going blocks all around these main streets. So this is Main Street that I'm on, and the cross street is High Street. High Street is Maryland Route 31 that runs east and west. And we will, on another adventure, continue down this street, and we'd hit another Main Street community just like this one that's called Union Bridge, Maryland. This church from this angle is beautiful. Gosh, I wish we had a blue sky. That is, yeah, they still have the Christmas stuff up. They do. Hi, 3 random words. This is New Windsor, Maryland. We're in Carroll County, Maryland. We're in farm country, but we're also in quarry country. We're headed to the mountains. And that's what this town, I'm guessing that's what this town did. I kind of came out here on a whim this morning, so I didn't do too much research. We're looking at the town fountain park, the little tiny Main Street. Lots of traffic. Lots of traffic. And we saw that beautiful bank. Now let's head back down this side. So we walked west or east? We walked east on this road on the other side. So now let's walk back on this side so we can check out everything on the other side of the street. Carefully. Super carefully. That's a really good view. So in the distance there, way in the distance, that high thing you see, that's not trees, that is rock. So that's a hill, or that is the results of the quarrying. That could be one of those great big hills. Hey Pep, nice to see you. John, you know what we haven't seen? We haven't seen... Oh. Yeah, that's why we heard the siren earlier. Woo. So here's what we haven't seen. We haven't seen shops. You know, so for the people who live here, there's no shop. We saw Maddie's little corner, but I don't know if that's really a restaurant. There's no shops. It's just a really quiet community. No ice cream shop. So yeah, the closer I get, that big thing in the distance, that is a mound of rocks. That is quarry waste. 100 feet high. Another view of the town hall and what I'm guessing is the original fire station with just one bay, one unit, because you have that, there's that siren on the top of that building. And from here, if you didn't mark it off your bingo card earlier, you can mark it off now. We're headed to the War Memorial. So mark off Town Hall. And this one is organized traffic cones, Daryl, 3 cones. Organized 1909, reorganized 1948, and built in 1954. This definitely looks like a 1950s building, but this one looks older. This is the Marker J. Lovell building, dedicated to Marker J. Lovell, town attorney. Okay. This had to be a fire station. It just did. It just had to be. And right next door we have the Town War Memorial. This is quite appropriate. Always a piece of artillery. That's also a bonus on our bingo card. If we get to the Town War Memorial and there's a piece of artillery or equipment of some sort, you get a bonus. So this memorial is dedicated to the men and women of New Windsor District who served their country in World War I and World War II. Later, a marker was added for the Korean War in honor of the men and women of New Windsor who served in the Asian theater during the Korean War. May we never forget their courage and sacrifices. For Vietnam, in honor of the men and women of New Windsor who served in the Southeast Asia theater during the Vietnam War. May we never forget their courage and sacrifices. And then, in honor of the men and women of New Windsor who served in the following conflicts: Desert Shield and Desert Storm from 1990 to 1991. I like this idea of being able to add to an existing memorial rather than building separate memorials for each conflict. And then this one is, may we wish that this stays blank. Right? May we wish that we don't have to use all of these, although the War on Terror certainly deserves recognition. This is a very nice memorial here in New Windsor, Maryland. Now, I'm not going to count this as a mural. It's cute, but we would have on our bingo card a mural, the hardware store, the post office. We haven't seen the post office, and I know that's several blocks down, so we're not going to see that. So we may have had a bingo today. I'm not sure. Have to go home and look at a card. This is Uncle Maddie's Eatery. The cute little guy. Oh, and we're back to this one. There's that periwinkle. If you didn't see when I was walking down here earlier, check out the video, rewind the video, and check out that beautiful periwinkle one. And then this one, which I'm still voting as being the oldest residence on this main street. But no marker. You know, also, owing to the constant stream of dump trucks that are going down this road, there is still quarrying going on here, because that's those huge trucks coming down this road. A lot of old original houses are extremely haunted. Oh, maybe. Could be. I mean, I like to think it's a lot of history, right? You can say haunted, or you can say there's just a lot of history infused in the town. And I know when I go, you know, just because I walk the same streets over and over and over again, and you get that feeling of, you know, so much about the place because you know every crack in the sidewalk. And sometimes you know people who live there, and you know, you get that feeling. Not haunting, but certainly, you know, there's something to the history that lives. Now let's check out see if we can see a date on this. It says Underwriters Laboratories Inc. inspected power operated discharge for hazardous liquids, but doesn't have a date. It's the American from Cincinnati, Ohio. And the last time it was used, gas was 46 9/10 cents per gallon. Wow. Now these aren't the oldest, not the oldest of gas pumps, but certainly if it was 46 cents per gallon, my brain is telling me that was probably last used in the early 1960s or late 1950s, maybe. I don't know, it's $2.79 today, where I live, for regular. Which is pretty good. I know, right, Roby? I need the time machine. You and me both. I just want that time machine. You know, and you can, you know, when folks say, well, would you go forward or backward? And that's hard, because I definitely would want to go backward, but I'm also curious about the future. So, yeah, time machine would be cool. But we kind of have a time machine. See, my TARDIS is the library, and I do believe that Doctor Who, part of what it is meant to represent, the TARDIS is a representation of a library, because you can go anywhere in space and time, anywhere through imagination, by walking into a library. That's just me. That's just me. Well, here is where we began our day. Wow, over an hour ago. And the skies didn't clear up too much. I was hoping I knew we wouldn't get blue skies, but I was hoping for a little more brightness for a better view today. Thanks to everyone who joined me. This is New Windsor, Maryland. It is a beautiful Main Street community, pretty much frozen in time. And if you're in the area, I highly recommend taking a walk down the street. We will come back on a sunny day, I promise. I will come back with my big girl camera and take some photos to make into a video. You know, one of those videos that I never get around to editing. Someday. Do they still have libraries? Yes, they do. Yes, we do. Please, if you're free at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, join me for Film Club on Stasis Geeks channel. Today's film is MASH, the 1970s film that inspired the television show about the Korean War. So you still have a few hours to watch the film. Everyone is invited to Film Club. Hope to see you there. Maybe I'll be out and about tomorrow. If it gets sunny, I don't think so. If it gets sunny, we'll be out and about the same time tomorrow for a nice walk. Everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for the lively chat today. Everyone, take care.